guessing what will happen next.
Yeah, that's one of the incredible things about Sienkiewicz is, he revolutionized the industry. His influence is unbelievable, and he is an incredibly sweet man. And
I just wanted to add too that the power that comes through too, that all of us, I know that everyone involved in this project, of course, with the three of us, and of course Alex and the guys and women at Boom.
We're going to have Alex Tichane on later. But really,
in the episode. We were all living up to Frank's storytelling because. Me, I worked on it for 20 something years. How many drafts had you probably read, Patrick, before we even sent the draft over?
I don't know.
Ame? Like I probably showed you 6 or 7 drafts.
Yeah. and also, that's one of the reasons also that Alex Tichane got involved is because it was also conceptualized as a musical, which we have accompanying music for, and we use that music for the music video trailer that we released, which everybody can check out on YouTube. And also
the music is definitely going to be much more a part of future.
That's fantastic.
We got a lot of news too.
We do have a lot of stuff. This is what I would like to do. I want to comment one more thing about the style of the book with Ame. Then we're going to take a quick break, and after that, we're going to discuss all of the projects that the two of you have sitting, boiling on back burners, simmering away, because there's a lot. All right, now what I wanted to talk about stylistically. As I'm not even going to use the term graphic novel or graphic memoir, as a comic book, the lettering in Big Black Stand at Attica is so unbelievable and so powerful in telling the story. And I mean, it's obvious that you took inspiration from Ken Bruzenak.
Yes. Of course,
because
I'm a huge fan of Howard Chaykin. Huge fan. And
Howard's going to be a guest on our show later on in the year also, absolutely. And Howard's a huge fan of Stand at Attica and a huge fan of yours, Ame. He loves your stuff.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, but if folks have never read any of Howard and Bruzenak's collaborations, American Flag came out not long after. American Flag was just at the end of the Bronze Age, early to mid 80s. And what Ken did with lettering, until you talk about how revolutionary Sienkiewicz was in comic book storytelling, Ken Bruzenak was just as revolutionary. Yeah.
It's a Times Squared, which I believe it was time 2 for me for 20 years.
Yeah. When I was a kid, when it first came out, I didn't realize it was Times Square. And then I realized it. I'm like, oh, that's not that. Again, it's Times Square.
It's so fine. It's so good joke. And I read the first one, and I made 20 years to get the second, because in France, it was impossible to find. But I got it. I got the second part. And for me, I love this one. It was a huge, big adult team. The drawing was tremendous. For me, it was, at the time, the best he have done in many years. And I love what he did. But this one was phenomenal. And it was very big. So for me, it was the way to go, the things to do. There are 2 books, big books, that influence me because they are the same size of the European BD. It's Electra Live Again from Frank Miller with Light Varley, because it's exactly the same size.
Yeah, it's that oversized original Marvel graphic novel size.
Yeah, it's hardcover and a big, large book. And so I get inspired because I say, hey, it's the format where I work. I don't work in comic style in France. Well, at the time I didn't, and Times Square was perfect because I wanted to do this size and this kind of story, So I really like that. And for Attica, I got the opportunity to push the lettering. So I did all the lettering of the book, and boom, I hired a very professional letterer to do all the text, all the dialogue. But they allowed me to keep my huge letters,
right.
All the very graphic one, the boom and the blam, and this one I draw myself, and I place it on the pages, and they let me keep it. They have trust for that, and it was fabulous because I got what I want, and I got the professional version of my lettering. So it was fantastic for me.
Yeah, the collaboration, the people that came in through Boom, just, they first of all, they gave us so much freedom, but then really tightened things up. They all were just hardcore professionals.
Give us the names of the editorial staff, because they're really,
of course, Sierra Hahn, who was the executive editor, and Alison Gronowitz, who's her associate. And these women like basically roughed me and Ame up a little bit.
Hey,
that they didn't let anything slide. They didn't let one thing slide. They addressed everything, and then allowed us to, they didn't order us, but they addressed everything, and they were right, 90.9, we would have all agreed, and we just did. We were like, we realized they were just making it better and better and better, and they called us out on everything.
Yeah, man, and that's what you need.
And it was fantastic. Man. It was fantastic. I learned so much working with Sierra and Alison.
And usually when I do my books, I'm lucky because I never do correction. They almost never give me correction. And for this book, when they said, maybe you should think, maybe we should take this page and put it right there, I said, yeah, of course. It's better. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Can you have the time to change? I said, yeah, absolutely. It's 100% you're right. I will do that.
So they're the best in the business. So, folks, they just really are. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about all the incredible projects that are going to be coming from Jared Reinmuth and the amazing Ameziane. Coming right after this break, we will return. This is the Literate Nerds.
Nerds.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Literate Nerds Stand at Attica special edition episode. When we had taken a break, we were just about to talk about the projects that the amazing Ameziane and Jolton Jared Reinmuth. As long as we're throwing out the Stan Lee-esque monikers.
Wow.
It's obviously.
I love that one. I've never heard that.
We could go for potent Pat Kennedy, but it's really portly. It's portly Pat Kennedy. Let's face it. We all know that. So, all right. So, what do you guys got waiting to be unleashed on a world not ready?
What I'm working right now is I do a book on Martin Scorsese.
Yes, you're doing the graphic biography of Martin Scorsese, and I'm 170 page in it.
Oh my god!
And I don't know how many it will take. Oh. Maybe I'm half. So it will be the biggest book I will do for sure.
Wow.
And I love every minute of it.
And let me ask you, how long has it taken you to get 170 pages of a book finished?
So far, I work on it 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the kind of output that editors can get if they hire Ameziane to do a book. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying that completely in my own self-interest, as Ameziane is kind enough to give me a very, very nice cut of whatever work I find for him. so American editors, hire Ame. Give the guy some work.
We have the book that we talk about is my very first story I did in 22. That was my first book. And I reworked it for 20 years. Yeah. And now I think it's okay in the shape I wanted it. And I hope maybe in the American audience, someone will publish it one day.
Yes.
We will see.
Okay.
But what thrills me the most is also the book I want to do with Jared. And I will let him talk about it better than me.
Please, Jared, take it away.
Oh, we have actually, we have 3 books that really are in the works at the exact same time, and 4 actually. I shouldn't say even 3; it's 4. But obviously, as you know, we've been developing a graphic biography of Elston Howard, the first Black player to play for the New York Yankees, which was an integration all of its own. A story.
By the way, I mentioned that to Al Pucco. Had him on the podcast. Good friend of mine, who's a diehard Yankees fan, and he was like, "Oh, I love me some Elston Howard."
Yeah.
So I mean, it's surprising. Because Elston Howard isn't certainly not as well known as Jackie Robinson.
No,
by any means.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yankee fans know him so well,
and African American fans.
So you give us some background about what Elston did in his career.
Well, of course he integrated the New York Yankees. He started in the old Negro leagues. He played on the Kansas City Monarchs, was the roommate with Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks, and that's, of course, the same team that Jackie Robinson had come up from. And sees the first Black player for the Yankees and instantly is in the World Series against Jackie Robinson and loses the only World Series to the Brooklyn Dodgers, the New York Yankees. So that's his start, is playing in the World Series with that famous steal of home from Jackie, and Elston goes on to become not only the first Black player for the Yankees, but the first Black MVP in the American League, the first Black MVP of a World Series for the American League. And he becomes the first Black coach in the American League as he coaches Thurman Munson up through his rookie year as a coach for the New York Yankees.
During the incredible era, when the Bronx was burning.
The Bronx Zoo, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was prominent. He's the one that broke up the fight between Billy Martin and Reggie Jackson.
Okay, now I got to say, there are a few moments in comic books. There are great battles in comic books that every comic fan wants to see depicted. You want to see Ben Grimm, the Thing, fighting the Hulk. We all want to see Ame's depiction of Reggie Jackson and Billy Martin going at it, man.
Oh my God. Yeah, of course. Of course.
I mean, that's it. And it's such a magical era for guys like me and Jared and Alex Tichane, our musical director, our composer, of what, we were talking about the 70s and New York in the 70s and what the Yankees represent to, people like us. And that, I don't know that. that crazy vibrancy that that New York at its worst